Panic was caused among local residents over the weekend in Lanzhou City, northwest China's Gansu province, after authorities announced on Friday that they have detected excessive levels of benzene in the city's tap water system. According to Chinese Youth Daily, tests and samples of water showed benzene levels had reached 200 micrograms per liter, which is 20 times the national safety limit, and more than 2.4 million people were affected. Benzene is a colorless liquid that is often used to make plastics. Excessive benzene in the body can notably increase the risks of cancer. As a result, water supply was turned off in one city district, and the government warned citizens not to drink the city's water for the next 24 hours. Residents swarmed supermarkets to clear bottled water off the shelves and fetched water with pots, basins, and buckets until well after midnight. Fire engines and water sprinklers carried water to downtown communities. By Sunday morning, the water quality finally reached national standards for benzene, but questions from the public into the incident did logically not end. So how has the Chinese online community been reacting to the scary incident? Let's head over to the newsroom to our researcher, Julia Liu, to find out. Hi, Julia. So what have the net users' reactions been to the incident and the snapping up of bottled water that broke out in Lanzhou?
Hi, Scott. Well, there's a public resentment expressed online towards the chaos caused by the water scarcity. For instance, Wang Zuguo, a Lanzhou resident, vents his anger on Weibo.com by saying, "It is unprecedented for the capital city of a province to see its tap water so badly polluted. How are several million people supposed to survive on bottled water?" And this poster expresses her helplessness by saying, "How are we able to pursue our daily responsibilities if the basic right to live is even at risk?" While Zhong Yingde Riyue says ironically, when the local government was giving out free bottled water, the locals and non-locals of the city were treated differently. However, there was no different treatment to the people when the area got polluted. And this poster marks some merchants who used this occasion to raise water prices for personal gain, saying, "Well, I have 31 bottles of mineral water and 2 buckets of purified water in exchange for luxury apartments in the city." Well, in contrast, a local resident named Chen Liang managed to buy 1,000 units of mineral water outside the city and gave them to other citizens for free. Well, this poster remarks, "Well, the authorities should commend the kind-hearted people like Chen and sanction the unscrupulous merchants." And Evergrande Spring, a Chinese mineral water enterprise, is also noted for donating 12 million units of bottled water to Lanzhou citizens. While the poster remarks, "The company's benevolence was a positive significance to relieve the disaster, and we have no grounds to blame the company of promoting its brand this way."
Then what is the source of the contamination and which party is responsible for the incident? Do people think the actual truth will be told?
Well, a subsidiary of China's oil giant CNPC seems to be the culprits of a preliminary investigation. Shows the water was poisoned by oil pipelines. Leaks are resulting from 2 explosions that occurred in 1987 and 2002. Well, this poster points out the sources of pollution from these companies exist for long periods, while the citizens are kept in the dark. Meanwhile, lots of net users think the water supply company Veolia Water, a Sino-French joint venture, is liable for this accident too. This comment by Da Mofeng is typical. Well, the plant shouldn't have allowed the tainted water to be delivered to households in the city. And actually, this company is involved in several water-related incidents over the past years. The contaminated culvert has been in use for almost 60 years without any refurbishment. While Shu Shengxiang criticizes the water suppliers for turning a blind eye to potential risks. And he says, well, they only care about profit maximization. And Taiyang on QQ.com argues, "We can't let foreigners take over businesses vital to national interests." While Ding Yang believes that China lets a foreign firm carry out operations of water supply to attract investment and avoid low efficiency. And he argues, well, the state-owned enterprises haven't done any better in preventing water from being contaminated. And the incident has also triggered questions over slow reactions from authorities and the water supplier.
So what is the nature of the argument concerning the slow reaction times exactly?
Well, Veolia Water detected the suspicious levels of benzene at 5 p.m. on Thursday, but water supply through the duct was not cut until 18 hours later at 11 a.m. on Friday. While many residents drank the contaminated water before they were aware of a problem. Well, Veolia defended itself by saying detection of benzene is time-consuming, and they had to get a permit from the local government to cut the water supply. Well, this poster remarks, well, when something happens, they decided to conceal the truth instead of taking necessary measures. And Ju Tainted is upset. Well, I am 4 months pregnant. Who will answer for any problems that happen to my baby caused by the polluted water? Well, moreover, Lanzhou residents complained last month of a foul smell in tap water, while the local authorities managed to clear the doubts and silence the knowledge people who spread rumors. Well, netizens thus argue that the government has lost its credibility after connecting the two incidents. While this poster on 163.com says, well, the officials were deliberately covering up the problems to secure their positions. These people should be brought to justice for disregarding human lives. And Li Zhiqi remarks, dirty water shows how the authorities deal with a crisis, and the public is again let down by them.
Worsening and dangerous water pollution has been a big problem in much of China. Are there any other online reflections from the Lanzhou incident?
Well, a post on Sina.com points out that water pollution exists in at least 50% of the water sources in China nowadays, while techniques and facilities for the water processing plants are quite backward in China. While another post adds, while screening of potential risks should have been strengthened after previous explosions and oil leaks by oil companies, and authorities should be aware of the irrational city planning that allow irresponsible petrochemical plants to be sited close to water supply systems and people's homes. Well, finally, Han Jiachen remarks on HaiWaiNet.cn. A lesson should be drawn from this public crisis for the much-needed improvement of the overall communication mechanism.
Thanks, Julia. And that was China Take researcher Julia Liu with a look at the major issue of failing water quality in China. Next up on China Take, some of the top trending phrases on China's most popular search engines.